Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of my video blog series. I am your host, Nick Renard, and today we will be talking about a relatively unorthodox technique used in building lists of keywords for SEM and PPC advertising campaigns. I'll be talking about combining broad match modifiers with true broad match keywords. So, lots to talk about. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's do a quick overview on the keyword match types. I know that this is kind of an advanced series, but I'll just do a quick recap. There's 4 different match types. The first one is true broad match, and you can see that I have them labeled here by how they look. True broad match doesn't have any, you can see like the plus sign and the quotation sign around the other match types. True broad match just looks like how it is. If it looks up, you're basically allowing Google to find traffic that they think is relevant to the keyword that you're inserting into your campaign. So if you put a keyword like shoes, actually I'll use another example that I had with a client of mine from a long time ago. He was a lawyer client that was interested in settling like tickets from police officers and stuff like that. And so he was advertising for the word tickets, and he was generating a lot of traffic for like Justin Bieber tickets and concert tickets and plane tickets and all kinds of other tickets. So true broad match is renowned as being relatively dangerous because in a situation like that where you think you're advertising for something that's relevant to you because you're a lawyer who deals with tickets, it's actually showing you for all kinds of homonyms for other industries that also are trying to sell tickets, but just a different kind of ticket. The second kind is broad match modifiers. Broad match modifiers involve the little plus signs in front of each one of the keywords, and it forces it so that if you were to it forces it to have the actual keyword in the search query. So if someone, let's go back to the ticket example. Let's say you had the keyword traffic ticket, like plus traffic plus ticket. Then if someone looked up Justin Bieber concert ticket, it wouldn't trigger that keyword because the search query Justin Bieber traffic ticket doesn't have, I'm sorry, Justin Bieber concert ticket doesn't have the word traffic in it. So because you have that little plus sign in front of the word traffic means that it has to have the word traffic in it in order for your ads to show. So those are kind of cool because they're a little more granular than broad match or true broad match. Third type here is phrase match, where it must include the whole entire phrase. So if you have the word traffic tickets on phrase match, then if someone says, where do I settle my traffic tickets, then since traffic tickets is a phrase in there, then it'll trigger. But if the word traffic and ticket are broken up in any way, then it won't show. And then exact match is pretty self-explanatory. It's just exactly that. If you have the word traffic ticket on exact match and they type anything except for exactly traffic tickets, then it's not going to show. So those are the 4 match types. The strategy that I'm going to be talking about today is merging the first 2 on here, splicing the first 2, true broad match and broad match modifiers. It sounds kind of cool. It is kind of cool. We'll go ahead and move on here. So splicing true broad match with broad match modifiers. I'm going to use an example throughout. I started trying to write this out very generically, but I think it'll just be easier to use an example. So we're going to be using this example keyword at the top here, high quality purple drapes. Let's say you're a drape company that sells high quality purple drapes. We're going to develop a list of keywords that you might use for an AdWords campaign that we can use on this technique that I'm showing you of splicing true broad match with broad match modifiers. So if we have the keyword high quality purple drapes on each one of the match types we just went over, you can see that this is what it would look like. Here it is on true broad match modified, has little plus signs in front of it. Phrase match, exact match. You kind of get the idea there. I just wanted to make sure that we were on the same page with the match types we're talking about. Again, we're not going to be talking about phrase or exact match today, but I just threw that in here on this slide. We're going to be focusing on true broad match and broad match modifiers. So, high quality purple drapes. So, here's kind of the steps that we want to take when we know that we want to advertise for high quality purple drapes. And then here's the steps that I take whenever I'm handed, a company or an advertising campaign where I need to do a build out. The first step here is breaking up these keywords. And in the previous, this is part 3 of my video blog series talking about advanced keyword types. We talked about using adjectives and nouns. So the noun is the subject of what you're advertising for, so that's going to be the drape. And then, or like in the concert tickets or traffic tickets, the ticket is going to be the noun. And then the adjective is describing what kind of noun that is. So in this case, it's going to be purple. You could also say that it's high quality, but I'll explain why high quality is not as much of an adjective as I would like in a second here. So we break up the keyword, and you can see that if we do break it up into high quality or purple or drapes, that we can kind of identify which ones of those are the nouns and the adjectives in the other. So the noun, drape, the adjective is purple. And we want to identify what the less relevant parts of the keywords are. Now, in this case, high quality would be the less relevant part. And the reason I say that is not because this company isn't interested in trying to advertise to people who are looking up things like high quality drapes, but rather that you could really insert the word high quality with any other synonym for high quality in the world, and it would be totally fine. Um, that is not necessarily the case with some of the more important keywords like drapes, or in the ticket example, tickets, because as you saw, the word ticket, there may be a synonym for the word ticket or other homonyms in other industries like concert tickets or other types of plane tickets that if you just put a word like drapes or tickets on broad match, on true broad match, then it's gonna generate too many irrelevant search queries. So a word like high quality is it's a little bit dangerous because it'll trigger for anything. It will trigger for premium, luxury, expensive, whatever Google thinks is relevant to high quality. It's going to trigger for. So in this example here, we identify the word purple and the word drape as being the adjective, the most important parts, the adjective and the noun of this keyword high quality purple drapes. However, that doesn't mean that we're going to be throwing out the word high quality. It just means that we're going to be prioritizing a little less than the other keywords, and just bear with me. I'll get into that in a second here. The next thing we want to do is create a list of synonyms for our keywords. So we did that in the previous episodes as well. So we want to create a list of synonyms for the word high quality, for the word purple, and the word drapes. The next thing we want to do is combine those synonyms using a keyword builder tool, and then review and edit the list of keywords. All right, let's get into the example here. Synonyms. Okay, so synonyms for the word high quality. I just have a couple examples here. Obviously, this list could be broken out into a much, much longer, more extensive list that, could be segmented into quite a few different campaigns. But some synonyms for the word high quality: premium, luxury, expensive. Some synonyms for the word purple, obviously other colors like yellow or blue. In this case, where the word purple is describing the drapes, so you might have other like styles or fabrics that you want to use that you could throw in there to create different ad groups. So things like silk or cotton, or I don't know, rugged or flannel. I don't know all that much about drapes, but so you could have other things besides purple that could also qualify as adjectives for the products that you're selling, because if you do sell like plaid drapes, then you want to be make sure that you're advertising for that keyword as well. If you do just sell generic silk drapes, then you want to make sure you're advertising for that keyword. And then synonyms here, the last part, synonyms for the word drapes: curtains, window coverings. I couldn't think of that many, but there's a few. So if we go back a slide, what was the next step? I think it's combining them. So creating the list of keywords and then combining the synonyms using the keyword builder tool. So there's a lot of keyword builder tools that you can use online to combine these keywords, but basically what it does, you insert all of these keywords in, and it spits out a list of all of these keywords put together. So you can see this list here: high quality purple drapes, high quality purple curtains, high quality purple window coverings, high quality yellow drapes, high quality yellow curtains, high quality, etc., etc., etc. These lists can get pretty long. They can be a little overwhelming. Now, in this case, with this list of keywords, I'm assuming that the adjective and the noun are going to be covering the keywords that you want to make sure are showing up in your search query. So if you sell purple drapes, you want to make sure that anyone who looks up purple drapes in their search query on Google or Bing or whatever advertising platform you're using, you want to make sure that you're showing for that keyword because that is something that you sell. Now, the word high quality is a little less relevant in this case because high quality, like I said, even if the word high quality weren't there, if they just looked up purple drapes, that is still a product that you sell. So we want to what we do in this case is this is where the splicing comes in. So instead of using the broad match modifier on the word high quality or on the word premium or on the word luxury, we want to remove that broad match modifier entirely, so that way we're telling Google that we just want to be triggering for search queries where it has a keyword that is, somewhat relevant to the word high quality. So it doesn't matter what it is, but we want to make sure that the word purple and the word drapes are in there, that the word silk and the word drapes are in there. So I'll go ahead and move on to the second list of keywords. It'll make a little more sense to you. Here's what it looks like when we remove the broad match modifier from the word high quality or premium or luxury. So you can see that each one of these keywords, they still have the broad match modifier, the little plus sign, attached to the most important keywords, which are your adjectives and your nouns. So purple, yellow, silk, cotton, and then the nouns, drapes, curtains, window coverings. Those are all the most important things. So in each one of these, so we'll use like this example here. If the word purple window covering is in the search query, it doesn't matter where it is, as long as it's in there somewhere, then that search query is probably going to be relevant. However, if the word premium is exchanged with anything else, then it doesn't really matter to us if they type in high quality, even if they type in like cheap or something like that. Maybe you're not selling discount drapes or something like that, but people looking up the word cheap or premium or high quality, sometimes people looking up the word cheap are just looking for a good deal, but they may still be looking for a good deal on high quality drapes. So we want to give Google a little bit of leniency there. The reason that we do this is that if, let's say you do have the word keyword like premium yellow drapes, and if you broad match modify all of those keywords, then you're forcing the word premium to be in there. And if someone types in into their search query, if they type in really nice yellow drapes or something like that, that keyword isn't going to trigger because the word premium isn't in there. So by taking premium off of broad match modifier and moving it over to true broad match, we're allowing our keywords to trigger for more relevant search queries that still have the noun and the adjective in them that we're interested in advertising for. So what this does is true broad match keywords are renowned for being way too broad, that when you try to advertise for them, you run into the situation where the lawyer advertising for traffic tickets is also getting traffic for plane tickets, concert tickets, etc., etc. In this case, we can kind of avoid that by getting a little more granular, by taking some of those keywords like traffic and ticket and adding broad match modifiers to them. And that way we can kind of put the less relevant keywords on true broad match, let Google do what they want to do with that, but just make sure that we're showing for the most important keywords, which are the noun and the adjective. Anyways, I think you get it. We'll go ahead and move on to the next slide here. I've got some rules of thumb for when you're building these keyword lists. The first one here is to use broad match modifiers in front of the highest priority keywords. We already covered that a little bit. Drapes, curtains, window coverings, whatever the product it is that you're selling, you need to make sure that you have that keyword and all synonyms of that keyword on broad match modifier to make sure that that keyword is in fact in the search query that you're triggering your ads to show for. All right, second one here says for lower priority keywords, use true broad match. So things like colors or cheap or expensive, or maybe if you had a word like buy window coverings. You wouldn't really care if someone said like if someone had a keyword that said like, purple drapes sale or buy purple drapes online. Um, or anything like that. Like you can see how purple drapes is still in those search queries, but you kind of mix and match those keywords around with other words, with what you think someone might type into their search browser when they're looking for your products, and just make sure that those less important keywords are just on true broad match, so that way you can kind of let Google cover all the bases in terms of synonyms of those keywords and only advertise for the things that are relevant to you. Um, Third note here says try to keep broad match modifiers between 2 to 3 keywords. You don't have to follow this rule, but you want to be careful because as soon as you start adding like 6 keywords on true broad match modifier, or I'm sorry, on broad match modifier, um, they aren't going to be generating any traffic anymore. And you can see there's an example here in the middle: plus buy, plus luxury, plus blue, plus cotton, plus drapes, plus online. You got to ask yourself how many search queries a day are actually going to have all 6 of those keywords in it. The answer is going to be not many, if any at all. So a lot of times if you upload lists of keywords that are, all broad match modifiers, but each one of them has, and I've seen this a lot on also phrase match and exact match as well, where they have this like, 6 or 7 keyword count keywords, and those keywords are just going to be too granular. They're not going to generate any traffic. So try to keep the broad match modifiers between 2 to 3 keywords. So, 2 or 3 plus signs in your keywords, and then, add as many true broad matches as you deem necessary. It probably should only be 1 or 2, but yeah. And then I have a tip here at the end where it says increase bids on higher keyword count keywords. What that means is there's a little column in your AdWords editor and your Bing Ads editor that shows you the keyword count. So if you have like purple drapes as a keyword, the keyword count on that would be 2. Or if you had buy purple drapes as a keyword, then that would have 3. Or be a 3 keyword count keyword. What you can do is if let's say the average cost per click of a keyword is like around $3, let's say, what you can do is increase the bids on keywords that have a higher keyword count. So if something has 4 keywords in it or 5 keywords in it, you can maybe bid a little more than $3, like $4 or $5 for those keywords, and it will it'll bid more aggressively for the traffic that's more specific to your products. All right, and then the last note here says err on the side of using more broad match modifiers than true broad match. The reason we do this is because, again, true broad match can be very dangerous. The other reason I have is in the little subscript here, it says to start granular and open up your keywords over time. The reason we do this is if you put all of your keywords on broad match, they're going to spend a lot of money right out the gates, and you're going to be doing a lot of work trying to go through your search term reports and add negative keywords for all of the example of the tickets one is a great example. Adding negatives for the word like concert or Justin Bieber or plane or airplane or airfare or Nicki Minaj or any other kind of tickets that aren't relevant to what you're doing. If you just use more broad match modifiers, what you can do is filter that traffic without having to without having to go through all of your search term reports and add negative keywords. You'll want to do that anyway, so don't think that using this technique means that you don't have to do the other kind of maintenance work on your account. But it does ease the workload significantly and also saves you a lot of money. If you start more granular, there's a chance that your campaigns might not spend as much right out the gates. So if you have a strict budget that says, we need to spend $10,000 over the course of the next 30 days, then, right out the gates, you might not be spending as much. If that is the case, then it's a pretty simple solution. All you do is just go back into your list of keywords and just start removing some of the plus signs from the keywords that you think are less relevant. So let's go back to this example, the buy luxury blue cotton drapes online. That, although it's a very long keyword, is a very relevant keyword to someone selling, high quality blue cotton drapes online. But we could remove some of the broad match modifiers from the less relevant keywords, maybe online or buy or luxury, Maybe some of those are a little less relevant. Maybe even blue. Maybe you don't even care what color it is. That you just sell enough different colors that even if they said turquoise or something, that you would have enough selection for them to browse through there and find something that they want. So err on the side of more broad match modifiers than true broad match, and then kind of open up from there depending on what your budget is and other variables involved there. And then I'm actually going to go back a couple slides here because I want to finish this up here. So we combine. I wanted to make sure I covered this last step here. It says combine synonyms using the keyword builder tool, which we did, and we got this list of keyword. Well, let's go one more. This list of keywords with the broad match modifiers and the true broad match spliced together. Once we have that list, always make sure you review and edit and read your list of keywords. I guarantee that when you use a keyword builder tool and create a massive list of keywords like this one here, that there's going to be some keywords in here where when you look at them a second time or a third time that it's like that doesn't really make sense to me. So make sure you reread back through all your keywords. Give it a check your list twice and make sure that it looks all good. But other than that, that's the strategy for splicing true broad match and broad match modifiers together for a nice little healthy medium between, to bridge the gap between, true broad match because it's renowned as being way too broad. But you can kind of use some of that, the advantages of those keywords being so broad by being more careful of where you're applying those true broad match keywords to. So, anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week in my next video blog.